What if I told you that true happiness does not depend on money, status, or whatever is happening around you? In a peaceful little village where time seemed to slow down, there lived a special old woman whom everyone adored. She did not have much wealth, nor did she live a life of luxury, but there was always a gentle smile on her face, as if nothing in this world could ever make her sad. Villagers often came by just to talk to her, to ask for a bit of advice, or simply to bask in the calm and warmth she radiated, a feeling so comforting and strange that no one ever wanted to leave. Everyone wondered, why is she always so cheerful? Does she have some kind of secret? Eventually, a young man, braver than the rest, asked the question everyone had on their minds. Why are you always happy? Do you never feel sad? Her answer was not some magical formula, nor was it a grand philosophical theory. It was a story, a simple one, but one that could completely change how you see life, happiness, and even yourself. Do not look away from this video, because what she is about to share might be exactly what you have been searching for all this time. The young man looked at her with a skeptical gaze. Happiness comes from within sounded nice and all, but way too vague for him to grasp. The old woman gently nodded, her eyes drifting off like she was traveling back to a faraway place in her memories. You know, she began, there was a time when I thought I would never be able to smile again. When she was young, she had a small, ordinary family just like everyone else, a hard-working husband and a few lovely children. Their life was simple, but full of laughter. They did not have much money, no big house or riches, but every modest meal was filled with love, and for her that was enough. But then, a storm struck from a clear sky. Her husband fell seriously ill. The illness dragged on, weakening him day by day, and the family simply did not have enough money for proper treatment. They tried everything, but each last hope slowly faded with every labored breath he took. The night he passed away, she said, I sat by his bed, holding his hand until his very last breath. The whole world collapsed around me. I cried until there were no tears left, not just because he was gone, but because I felt like I had lost everything. My life partner, my support, my faith in life itself. The young man said nothing. The air around them seemed frozen in the quiet pain she had just brought back to life. But the old woman did not tremble. Her voice was steady, as if that pain had long been tucked away into an old drawer of the heart. I thought I would never be able to be happy again. But then, one morning, when the first sunlight came through the window, my youngest daughter ran into the room, hugged me tight, and asked, Mommy, will you smile again today? Just one small question, but it was like a key unlocking the door that had been shut in her heart for so long. I realized, she continued, if I kept drowning in my sorrow, my children would grow up in a world without hope. I could not let my pain steal their joy, and I could not let the past take away my future. From that day on, she began to change, not by forgetting the pain, but by accepting it as part of her life. She learned to appreciate the smallest things, a falling leaf, the morning bird song, the laughter of her grandchildren. She did not wait for good things to come in order to feel happy. Instead, she chose happiness first, and that belief carried her through the darkest days. I am not saying it was easy, she concluded, her eyes meeting the young man's with quiet understanding. I only know this. Sorrow is real, but so is happiness. And happiness is not something we wait for. It is something we choose. The young man sat silently for a long time after hearing her story. Something stirred inside him. Not pity, not just admiration, but an awakening. He realized that all along he had placed his happiness in the hands of others, in things beyond his control. Whenever something did not go his way, he would immediately feel lost. But the woman in front of him, who had lived through the deepest loss, could still smile every day. Not because she was lucky, but because she chose to. "Do you have any kind of secret?" he asked again, almost like a plea. She smiled. "There is no secret, my dear. Each morning I simply ask myself, what can I be grateful for today? Some days it is really hard to find something, but if you are patient, you will always find at least one reason to smile." From that day forward, the young man began to put her words into practice. Each morning, instead of rushing through his worries, he took a moment to breathe deeply, to listen to his heart, and to find one small thing he could be grateful for. Sometimes it was just a cup of hot tea, a ray of sunshine through the leaves, or a friendly nod from a stranger on the street. And something magical happened. He began to feel lighter. The negative things still showed up, the hardships still came, but they no longer controlled his emotions. He learned not to let circumstances decide his mood, but to let his mindset shape his life. The story of the old woman and the young man spread through the village. Slowly, more people began to shift their view of happiness. They stopped chasing it through material things, status, or perfection. Instead, they learned to find it in simple moments and in the choices they made every single day. And just like that, the village, once no different from any other, slowly became a place filled with laughter, kind eyes, and grateful hearts. All because one person chose to live fully with peace from within and had the courage to share it with the world.